In the golden days of King David's reign, peace and power rested over Israel. Jerusalem stood proud. The Ark of the Covenant rested within. David, the shepherd who became king, had won his battles. But beneath the glory of the palace walls, family troubles stirred troubles that would one day shake the throne itself. Among David's many sons was Absalom, son of Maacah, a foreign princess. Absalom was known across Israel for his breathtaking beauty. His long flowing hair, his royal posture, his charm, it all drew people to him. But deep inside, Absalom carried pain and a hunger for justice. That pain began with his sister, Tamar. One of David's other sons, Amnon, fell sick with lust for Tamar. Consumed by desire, Amnon pretended illness and lured her into his chamber. There, he violated her, then cast her out in shame. Tamar tore her robe, wept bitterly, and lived in desolation, a princess disgraced. David was angry when he heard, but he did not act. Absalom waited. Days turned into months, and months into 2 long years. Then, under the guise of a royal feast, Absalom avenged his sister. He had Amnon killed. Fearing his father's justice, Absalom fled to Geshur, the land of his maternal grandfather, and remained there for 3 years. David mourned Amnon, but longed to see Absalom. Eventually, through the wisdom of Joab and a crafty woman's words, David agreed to let Absalom return to Jerusalem. But still, the king would not see his son. For 2 more years, Absalom lived in the city, yet never once saw his father's face. Frustrated and determined, Absalom set Joab's field on fire just to get his attention. Joab went to the king, and at last, David summoned Absalom. The two met. David kissed his son. It looked like reconciliation, but trust had been broken. Now, free to move in the kingdom, Absalom began winning hearts. Every morning, he'd stand at the city gate and listen to the people's disputes. If I were judge, he'd say, I'd bring justice to all. He bowed, kissed hands, and smiled. Slowly, the hearts of Israel turned toward him. Then, Absalom made his move. He went to Hebron under the excuse of making a vow, but there, he declared himself king. Trumpets blew, messages spread across the land. Absalom reigns in Hebron. The rebellion had begun. David, hearing of the plot, made a painful choice. He fled Jerusalem. Barefoot and weeping, the king crossed the Kidron Valley, surrounded by loyal followers. Among them were priests, soldiers, and a few faithful friends, yet his heart was heavy. His own son had betrayed him. Spies and secret messengers moved between father and son. David organized his loyal men. Absalom entered Jerusalem and took up royal residence. But Absalom sought more than the throne. He wanted his father gone. Battle was inevitable. The armies met in the forest of Ephraim. The battle was fierce, but David's forces won. Thousands fell that day, including Absalom's men. As Absalom fled on his mule, his long hair, the very thing that made him admired, became his undoing. It caught in the low branches of a great oak tree. The mule ran on, and Absalom was left hanging, helpless between earth and sky. When Joab heard, he defied David's command to spare the boy. He struck Absalom 3 javelins to the heart, and the men finished him. They buried him in a pit, throwing stones over the body. A runner brought the news to David. At first he asked, "Is the young man Absalom safe?" But when the truth came, the mighty king broke down. "O my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for you. O Absalom, my son, my son." David's cry echoed across the palace, a sound of love, loss, and the deepest sorrow a father can know. The legacy. The story of Absalom is not just one of rebellion. It's a tragedy of broken trust, family wounds, and the weight of leadership. It shows us that even the greatest of kings cannot escape the pain of fatherhood, and even the most beautiful son can be lost to pride and revenge.